Look around if you're still not convinced about the Caitlyn Clark effect. Brands are making unprecedented offers, TV ratings are skyrocketing, and fans who had little interest in women's basketball are now paying attention. Caitlyn Clark is completely altering the rules rather than merely playing the game. There is more going on here than just basketball. Athletes have dominated in the past, but not in this manner. In less than a year, Caitlyn has accomplished the unimaginable by going from being a college standout to a worldwide marketing powerhouse. Her scoring records and intense rivalry aren't the only factors. Interviews, endorsements, and even her silence have all been transformed into gold by her. This is no longer a rookie tale. This is the tale of a woman whose name has grown to be the most valuable in contemporary sports. The most peculiar aspect is that she is making less money on the court than the typical office manager. She is a multi-millionaire. However, compared to what she's earning, her official WNBA salary of slightly over $76,000 seems like a rounding error. And from the companies vying to support her. How, therefore, did Caitlyn Clark transform her first season as a professional into a financial revolution? How did a 22-year-old rookie come to represent a billion-dollar change in women's sports? And why does it infuriate some insiders? The responses show that the game is significantly more intricate than basketball, because Caitlyn Clark is disrupting the system in addition to smashing records. Caitlyn Clark was already a national sensation before she rose to prominence in the WNBA. From crowded venues in Iowa to viral highlight reels, she amassed a fan base that few male athletes could hope for, with tens of millions of views. Every shot she made felt intimate, sending a message that she wasn't only competing but also pushing the boundaries of what was conceivable for female athletes. Caitlyn Clark was more than just a player by the time she entered the draft. She was a brand. Her face had already been a source of inspiration for a generation of girls who were finally able to see themselves in the spotlight, and her name was becoming popular on all continents. Her draft selection by the Indiana Fever altered not just the team, but the league as a whole. Sales of tickets surged. Broadcast networks rushed to protect their rights. Suddenly, the WNBA had must-see TV, something it hadn't had in decades. However, this is where things start to become interesting and a little unnerving. Caitlyn Clark received a rookie pay of $76,535, despite being the most talked about player in the league. That sounds respectable to most people. However, it's incredibly low in the realm of professional basketball, particularly when contrasted with NBA rookies who make millions of dollars before even playing a game. What else was making her wealthy if her WNBA salary wasn't? Is that the real starting point of the Caitlyn Clark phenomenon? Because Caitlyn was creating an empire off the court while others worked hard for their next contract through practices, media appearances, and 82-game seasons. In just her first professional year, her off-court earnings surpassed $10 million. Additionally, none of it resulted from earning points. She succeeded simply by being Caitlyn Clark, by speaking, and by simply showing up. Her presence turned into money. Whether in person or virtually, she might charge up to $100,000 for a single appearance. She made more money from corporate events and sponsorships in a matter of months than the majority of WNBA players do over the course of their careers. Her face wasn't all that brands wanted. They desired her enthusiasm, her sincerity, and the crowd that followed her about. She became into the golden ticket, a person who could increase viewership, social media interaction, and brand reputation all by herself. Businesses weren't merely signing her. They were making an investment in her future. And Caitlyn's power increased with each contract she signed. However, it wasn't luck that she was constructing. It was a tactic, because there was a player who grasped something that few others did behind that serene smile. It's no longer just basketball. It's business. The figures are accurate. Caitlyn Clark has broken every conventional barrier that once determined an athlete's value in a matter of months. At this point, her $76,000 WNBA salary is practically symbolic, a reminder of how far behind the system is in relation to the world she is currently creating. Because Caitlyn is pursuing power, whereas some athletes are pursuing prizes. She is the first to recognize the value of attention. She is currently the richest player in the game. She has earned an estimated $10 million off-court during her debut campaign, considering that the majority of WNBA players hardly ever make seven figures in their careers. This number is nearly astounding. How did she accomplish it? By becoming proficient in contemporary branding. It's more than just a player entering a room when Caitlyn does. It's a media event. Her value is increased by each camera flash, interview, and social media post. Businesses are spending six figures to have her speak. Wilson, Gatorade, State Farm, and Nike. They are all writing checks big enough to raise the eyebrows of NBA veterans. She is more than just a product endorser. She is redefining the term influencer athlete. Her persona combines charm, talent, and humility. The ideal recipe for corporate America's worldwide appeal. Caitlyn Clark is more than simply a basketball player. She is the female marketing power of the future. She is the Steph Curry of influence, according to one brand executive who claims that she influences public opinion in addition to selling goods. Sales increase when she drinks from a certain bottle. Engagement triples when she shares a picture. She is making more money off the court than any other woman in WNBA history because of this. The most intriguing aspect, though, is that controversy or scandal aren't driving Caitlyn Clark's empire. It is based on trust. In a time when athletes are under intense scrutiny, Caitlyn maintains a refreshingly clean image. Shock value is not necessary for her. Her genuineness and skills speak for itself. She is regarded as the safest bet in sports by investors, sponsors, and fans. And since the system wasn't designed to handle someone like her, someone who doesn't need the league to survive, it's this purity, this real connection that's causing the WNBA anxiety. The WNBA isn't in control for the first time, ever. Yes, she is. The tale of Caitlyn Clark is no longer limited to basketball. It has to do with dominance in business, strategic actions, and a marketing revolution spearheaded by an Iowa woman, aged 22. Upon closer inspection, her actions appear to be more akin to a corporate takeover than an athlete's career. Her brand is based on feeling rather than numbers. Her shooting percent isn't the reason why fans follow her. Because she stands for something greater, they are following her. She is flawlessly monetizing her message of tenacity, elegance under duress, and the desire for equality in a system that still devalues women. Her business alliances resemble a wish list for the Fortune 500. She signed an estimated $28 million contract with Nike, which is said to be one of the most lucrative deals ever given to a rookie. She became the face of State Farm's nationwide advertising efforts. She received something that no other active female player has ever had thanks to Wilson, the renowned basketball brand. Her own set of trademark balls. To put things in perspective, just one player in history has ever received such treatment. Michael Jordan gave that some thought. The greatest player of all time is currently in the same marketing category as an Iowa rookie, and this is only the start. According to estimates made tonight, if Caitlyn's current trajectory continues, her entire endorsement portfolio may reach $100 million in the coming years. Her control is what's driving it, not simply her performance. Caitlyn does not give up her image rights, in contrast to many athletes. She keeps an eye on branding, negotiates conditions, and makes sure every transaction reflects her values. She's gaining ownership as well as notoriety. However, the tension grows along with her empire. Because not everyone is pleased with her ascent. Resentment is developing behind closed doors. Rumors from league executives and opposing players who believe she is receiving too much attention too soon. She is said to as privileged by others. Some claim that the league's success now rests solely on one individual, which could be risky. Caitlyn, though, doesn't recoil. She is skillfully using attention because she is aware of its two-edged nature. Caitlyn sees opportunity where others see chaos. And just when it looks like she's at the pinnacle of her abilities, something unexpected happens. One thing makes clear how much more ambitious her plans actually are. When it comes to sports marketing, timing is crucial. Additionally, Nike is the best at timing. Fans conjectured about which company would sign Caitlyn Clark for months. Was that Adidas? Puma, Under Armour. Offers reportedly reached record-breaking levels as the bidding war stealthily intensified behind closed doors. But after that, there was stillness, no announcements, no leaks, just waiting for the news to ultimately come out one clear morning. Caitlyn Clark had inked a $28 million unprecedented contract with Nike, her own signature shoe line, the first for a female basketball player in more than 10 years, was part of the deal. However, as the anticipation grew, an odd thing occurred. Nike celebrated Caitlyn's arrival with comments, social media teasers, and commercial photos. However, one item was absent: the actual shoe. No name, no prototype, and no leaked picture. Supporters started making assumptions. Was there tension building behind the scenes, or was Nike purposefully keeping back? According to some, Nike wanted the time to coincide with the start of the 2026 WNBA season. There were rumors that Caitlyn wasn't entirely happy with the original design. A meticulous person who won an iconic piece that reflected her narrative rather than just her numbers. She expertly sidestepped the subject while grinning throughout interviews. She merely responded, "Good things take time, and I want this to be perfect." When questioned about the shoe, that was sufficient to pique more interest. Nike had discovered their perfect marketing opportunity: mystery. And Caitlyn's brilliance was only enhanced by that mystery. The missing shoe began to represent something more significant: the notion that she wasn't only an athlete awaiting her opportunity. The moment was her. There is conflict when one is famous. Additionally, Caitlyn's quick ascent in the WNBA caused a stir. Her brilliance was recognized by seasoned players, but some of them objected to the attention she received. Networks changed coverage overnight. Caitlyn Dele Alli was suddenly mentioned in headlines that had previously disregarded women's basketball. Resentment increased along with ratings. A seasoned guard was seen telling Mike, "Let's see how she handles real defense," during one very heated game. Social media took off. The critics accused Caitlyn of being media-made, implying that hype rather than skill was what propelled her fame, while fans vehemently defended her. However, proving people incorrect is Caitlyn Clark's strongest suit. She performed well under duress game after game. She never lost her cool despite step-backs, logo threes, and no-look passes. She responded with buckets rather than words. And every sold-out venue, every viral highlight, and every young girl in the audience with a homemade Clark 22 placard muted the commotion. The league was unable to refute it. The average WNBA viewership increased by 200% in the months after her rookie debut. Sales of merchandise doubled. ESPN extended its broadcasting contracts. There was more to the Caitlyn Clark impact than meets the eye. It was a revolution. Corporate America was keeping a careful eye on things behind the scenes. Brands like Gatorade, State Farm, Nike, and Buick viewed Caitlyn as the new face of youth and self-assurance. A marketing treasure trove that appealed to both parents and girls, athletes and casual spectators. However, authenticity-based celebrity always treads carefully. According to insiders, the same authenticity that made her relatable also became a subtle source of stress, because it was what marketers sought to package and sell. A few CEOs advocated for polished content. Others desired more unvarnished moments to give her a sense of groundedness. However, in keeping with her personality, Caitlyn continued to concentrate on the game, which she could manage.